Hello once again. Today we are going to revise the modal verbs unit 6 for those who asked me about this lesson. So I'm going to explain some parts which are included in the student book page 85 and the workbook page 55. So it's better to take your books to be able to follow with me. The first thing, we are going to start with the student book exercise number 2, page 85, this exercise. So the instruction is to rewrite the sentence using models, and of course this is a common exercise in the exams for grade 12. We have this almost every year, so you are provided with the verb between brackets and you have to rewrite the original sentence using these verbs. Let's look into this example. You are not followed to enter the lab. So you are not allowed to enter the lab, are not allowed, or mustn't. So you mustn't or you can't, both of them are acceptable. However, we are not provided with can't here, we are provided only with mustn't. So you mustn't enter the lab. We removed are not allowed and replaced it by mustn't. Please don't forget the rule that any modal verb should take base form. Any modal verb should take or followed by a base form. So never put ing or never put to infinitive with some modal verbs like can, must, should, may, might. Some modal verbs are already with to, like ought to, like this modal verb ought to, or have to. Also, they are followed by base form, so they are also called modal verbs. So any modal verb plus base form. We never change the verb. Let's now start rewriting sentences. As you can see here, it's already done for you. We already discussed it. Sentence number 2. It's a good idea to take up a hobby. So should. Of course, you have to understand. Should would be, should would replace which phrase here? So it's a good idea to take up a hobby. We are advising someone. Here we are giving a piece of advice that everyone should take up a hobby. So we can say you or everyone or he or she, whatever. So you can say you should. So this is should. And the verb in the base form, take up a hobby. Take up a hobby. Okay, this is the answer. Let's highlight our answer in red and bold. Okay, number 3 now. Don't litter the streets. It's the law. So here, this is like an order. It's the law. It's obligation, or here when we say never do that, it's forbidden or prohibited. Okay, so mustn't plus the verb, but we need the subject. Who mustn't here? You can say also you mustn't. You mustn't what? You mustn't, and the verb, not, please, you are going to remove don't. You mustn't litter the streets. The meaning of litter the streets means make them dirty. It's the law. You can write it, okay? It's optional. You mustn't litter the streets. You are not allowed to eat in here. So to be allowed can be replaced with the modal verb can. So you can eat. You can do what? Eat in here. Okay, see, you replaced can, are allowed to, don't here, don't, and it's the law we replace it by mustn't. Okay, it's a good idea, should, etc. You can eat in here. This is the answer. May, is it okay if I leave now? This is asking for permission. So is it okay, or may I? May I leave? May I leave now? Is it okay if I leave now? Or instead of is it okay if, we wrote may I. Okay? May I. He is obliged. Now this example, he is obliged to wear a suit at work. So there is a word here that means have to, which is obliged. We are going to replace obliged with have to. So who is obliged to wear a suit at work? He. He. And I have between brackets have to. So instead of have to, I should write has to, because he, she, it take has to. So he has to. So never write obliged again. No. So he has to wear a suit at work. This is my sentence. To wear a suit at work. Okay. I hope this is clear for this exercise, but we need now to understand how we change some modal verbs when it's related to something that should have happened in the past or must have happened in the past. Now, let's have a look. We are going to rewrite the sentences using must, can't, may, or should. Don't worry, in the exam you will be provided with the word between brackets, okay? So, it's easy. You are not going to try to find which word. I mean, if it is a CR question, if it is a multiple choice, you are going to choose which one. So, here, let's look at the first example. Sorry, it's possible that he is having financial problems. So it's possible, it's placed by may. So he may be. This is the verb in the base form. From where did we get this verb? He may be. You see, is, this is become be. And then you should write the rest of the sentence as it is with no changes. So he may be having financial problems. Now look at number 2 and please try to concentrate with me. Try to focus because a bit tricky this one. So I am sure Luke didn't apologize to Andy. So my sentence here is in the past. I am sure that something didn't happen. Okay, so when you want to say that you are certain, you are 100% sure that something didn't happen or was impossible to happen, you will follow this rule. You will put can't plus have plus PP. Always keep the have if you are going to talk about the past, and never change the have. It's the base form of have. Never change it. There is no has. There is no had after can't, after any modal verb. So we are referring here to something which is impossible in the past. I'm sure this didn't happen. I'm sure Luke didn't apologize to Andy. Now let's follow the rule. So Luke can't, okay, have, this is the rule, the verb in the past participle can't have what? Apologized. Apologized to Andy. Okay. So please bear this in mind. It's very important because can't here, it's not about ability. Can't plus have plus PP means that something, it's impossible to happen in the past. You are sure that it didn't happen. Okay, so this is the answer. Next one, I'm sure. Susan, you are sure also here. Okay, is, however, you are talking about the present. Okay, you are talking about the present here. So you are sure that Susan is at her office now. Susan must, so must plus base form. What's the base form of is? Be. Must be at her office now. Number 4, sorry, let's highlight this. So number 4, perhaps she had forgotten about the event. Perhaps. Now look at this. Perhaps will be replaced with may. And here I'm not talking about the present, actually I'm talking about the past. See this past perfect, she had forgotten. Again, we are going to follow the same rule but using a different modal verb. So because something which was probable to happen, it was possible to happen in the past, so may plus have plus the verb in the past participle, which means something that was possible to happen in the past. So here I can say she may have, so I don't need this anymore. Okay, she may have, this is the verb in the past participle, forgotten about the event. She may have forgotten about the event. Okay, next one. I expected, this is a keyword, expected in the past. Okay, this is your keyword. You expected something to happen. Carol to have arrived by now. It's not about now, it's what I expected to happen now. Now look, there are many keywords I expected, and also we have plus PP also. So this is also what would happen. It's should plus, because we are referring to the past, plus have plus verb in the past participle. So in this case, I would say Carol should have done what? Arrived. This is the verb in the past participle. Arrived by now. Okay, so what does should plus have plus PP means? Should have happened. So this is about what you expected. So it's about expectation. Okay, this is the answer. Okay, now really I want to add another example. So it's not only about expectations. Sometimes when you express regret about something that you did in the past, look at this. For example, it's raining and you say, for example, it's raining. I didn't. So we are talking in the past here. I didn't take my umbrella. It's raining. I didn't take my umbrella. You are going to rewrite these sentences using should. So you should, because didn't, it's in the past. I didn't. Here I am going to express regret in the past. Regret in the past will be as follows. Should plus have, it's the same like expectation, plus PP. This is the rule. you should have this is the verb in the past participle, taken your umbrella. Okay, so whenever we refer to the past, you should write a modal verb plus have plus verb in the past participle. I hope this is clear. Now let's move on to the workbook, page 55, exercise number 2. So page 55, exercise number 2. I'm certain Chelsea won the match. Okay, we are going to use must here because my sentence, the original sentence, is in the past. So modal verb plus have plus pp. So it's the same rule. Now look at this. It's possible he had been feeling depressed for a long time. So it's possible. So we can use here may, okay, for the word possible. But look here, had. Here we are going to follow the same rule in the past. Sorry, I have to erase this. So the same rule in the past, modal verb plus have plus pp. This is when you talk about, when you refer about the past. So it's possible he had been feeling depressed. We can write as follow. He may, okay, had will be have, he may have, and then you write the rest of the sentence as it is with no changes. So he may have been feeling depressed. Okay, he may have been feeling depressed. Next one. Sorry for this mistake. Next one. Perhaps John is ill today. Perhaps. So I can say may or might or can. So John may. So here I do not have the past. It's present. So I will just put modal verb plus base form when it is present. So John may be ill today. Why? Because my sentence is in the present. Let's move on to the next one. I'm sure Mark isn't running the marathon this year. This is also present. So Mark, okay. So when I say I'm sure something didn't happen, please use can't. When you are sure something didn't happen. So Mark can't. Then the verb is in the base form be, then the rest of the sentence, running the marathon this year, etc. Finally, I'm sure she's going cycling today. I'm sure. So when here, look at this. When you are sure something didn't happen, use can't. But when you are sure something happened, use must. So here, I'm sure she, you cannot write I'm sure, sorry for this, you cannot write I'm sure. So she, instead of I'm sure, she must, okay. Then the base form, it's the present. So I have just to change this one in the base form. So she must be going cycling today. She must be going cycling today. So this is all. I hope you understand the difference between the present modals and past modals. So please, if it is just present modals, we have to insert the modal plus the base form. If it is past modal, you should write the modal plus have plus the verb in the past participle. Thank you.